This is United Network News with Sunny Galt, Calen, Kimberly Gogan, and our field messengers from around the world. Here's today's real news.
Australia is facing a serious shortage of doctors, especially in general practice or GP, and it's creating big challenges for communities across the country. This shortage strains the healthcare system and it impacts real people, leaving families without easy access to medical care when they need it most. Australia's health minister says there will be more GPs in training in 2025 to help close the gap. But will it really be enough to fix the problem?
A Department of Health report from August 2024 shows Australia is struggling to meet healthcare demands. An aging population and rising chronic diseases mean more doctors are needed, but fewer medical graduates are choosing general practice. Rural and remote areas are hit the hardest, with some towns offering six-figure salaries and even free housing to attract doctors. Many rural towns rely on a single doctor working around the clock, often handling emergencies alone, which leads to high stress and burnout. According to the Royal Australian College of General Practitioners, a record number of junior doctors will start GP training in 2025, increasing trainees by nearly 20%. Still, challenges remain. The college warns the national GP shortage is still a critical issue.
In 10 years of trying to bring more doctors to Bega, GP Duncan McKinnon managed to recruit just one. They returned to the city after 6 months.
If your partner can't get a job in a country town, then you're not going to move there.
It's the same prognosis for specialists.
I myself had 3 children by the time I finished medical school. And so the chances of someone going bush with an established family is very low.
It also isn't an appealing prospect for doctors to move somewhere with fewer colleagues, patients and resources.
Smaller centres are losing their resources. So smaller centres are being downscaled, the job satisfaction is being reduced.
Doctors say the centralisation of medical services in larger regional centres means there are few incentives to go to the bush.
The Constitution says we can't force doctors to work anywhere that we want them to work. So therefore it comes down to incentivisation.
The federal government's trying to keep more doctors in the bush by teaching them in rural areas like here in Orange. But many students aren't convinced it will work because they will still need to complete specialist training in the city.
The Australian Bureau of Statistics says the number of GPs in Australia has grown by 5.1% from 2019 to 2024. But full-time equivalent GPs have decreased by 1.3%. This is because male GPs are working fewer hours, and more female GPs who typically work fewer hours are joining the field. Attracting medical graduates to general practice is another challenge, partly due to lower median incomes for GPs compared to specialists like surgeons or psychiatrists. Many GPs work under the bulk billing system, which struggles with low Medicare rebates and rising costs like rent and staff wages. To make things harder, switching to GP training means lower pay and losing benefits.
Dr. Emily Isham is passionate about caring for her children and being a GP. Combining the two can be hard.
None of our 5 I've had paid maternity leave and I've had to put aside money in advance.
When medical students leave hospitals to train in GP practices, they lose employee benefits like maternity leave.
You might end up working for 5, 6 different employers in that short period of time. You don't accrue leave entitlements. It makes it hard to plan a family in spite of being at that childbearing age.
This deters many students, especially women, from becoming GPs and is worsening Australia's GP shortage, especially in regional areas. The Australian Medical Association says that within 10 years, Australia will face a shortfall of about 10,500 GPs. In the decade to 2019, demand for GP services grew by 58% and continues to grow.
According to the latest medical school outcomes database, Only 10.5% of graduates listed general practice as their top specialty, and another 7% considered rural generalist roles. This isn't enough to meet growing demand, highlighting the need for better strategies to attract future doctors. One major challenge is the training pathway after medical school. While all medical students spend some time in general practice, those who want to become GPs must join a specific training program after their first postgraduate year. However, during this time, junior doctors work in hospitals, surrounded by colleagues focused on hospital-based specialties with no GP experience. This makes general practice less visible as a career option for junior doctors.
I think are probably some of the challenges young aspiring doctors are going to probably be having.
Very, very competitive to get onto training programs. So that's something, and it means because it is so competitive, you're never going, and it shouldn't be like this, but it is, you're never going to complain about unfair working conditions, because if you complain, you won't get a good reference from your senior, and you're dependent on that referee to get you onto a training program.
Yeah.
So it's this perfect recipe for extortion that junior doctors can be overworked, and feel like they can't do anything about it. And then because there's this also pretty toxic culture in medicine of not wanting to show weakness or vulnerability, or like you're not coping, as if that's a personal failure, when in reality we know 20% of doctors get depressed, 1 in 10 have suicide ideation.
Yeah.
So it's not like it's an individual problem, it's a system issue.
Stress and low pay are making fewer medical graduates want to become GPs. It takes many years of training, and GPs see hundreds of patients every week, but the pay doesn't stack up compared to other specialties. More still needs to be done to attract a new generation of graduates to choose general practice, starting with improving the pay and working conditions.
The Fungi Festival in Marin County, California, celebrates all things mushrooms, exploring their health benefits, mood-boosting effects, and more. UNN Field Messenger Ruth introduces various types of mushrooms and their uses.
Hello, this is Ruth reporting from Marin County in California at a fungi festival. Mushrooms are the fruiting body of a fungus and grow above the ground. Here at the festival, the mushroom is so much more than just food.
Now, could you tell me what this one is?
So yeah, this is a Ramaria species.
Okay.
It is a coral. Common name is a coral.
Oh, okay.
Now they are edible.
Did you know that some mushrooms are poisonous? We call these toadstools.
Okay, can you tell me what it is you have in the basket?
It's Kokora mushrooms. It's a type of amanita, edible amanita.
And what does an amanita do?
Well, there's lots of some will kill you and some are really good to eat.
And what about these? Are these edible?
Yeah, these ones are edible.
Many people have gathered in the main hall to listen to mushroom author Eugenia Bone explain her experiences with magic mushrooms or psychedelic mushrooms and how they affect our brains and our feelings. The crowd was enthusiastic to hear about her book called Have a Good Trip. The book is considered a provocative guide for the evolving mushroom culture phenomenon. The mushroom varieties inspire beautiful and colorful clothing and art that is vibrant and alive. There were also dishes of mushrooms to eat, such as chaga mushrooms. These chaga mushrooms are high in antioxidants and have many health benefits, as shown in this flyer. Reishi for sleep, turkey tail for immune support, shiitake for the heart, maitake for blood sugar, lion's mane for nerves and brain, cordyceps for mood, and chaga for anti-cancer. This couple, Adam and Carly of Ceylon, offer mushroom growing kits, mushroom tinctures, teas, and beers created by a doctor. The teas offer various mood and health benefits from the different mushroom blends. A blue tea helps with lucid dreaming and relaxing. Perhaps the most original display was of mushroom spores creating spore print art by Sarah Stinson. I hope you've learned something about mushrooms today. I know I certainly did. This is Ruth signing off as Field Messenger in Marin County, California.
Today we visit Northampton in England to learn an easy and natural way to make soap from a plant. UNN Field Messenger Keisha Beth and her friend Sarah show us how it's done.
Greetings, this is Keisha Beth Salmon, Field Messenger for United Network News. I'm in Northampton, England, in Sarah's herb garden, and we're looking today for something called soapwort, which she tells me does amazing things. So what's that plant?
So this is soapwort. It's not in flower at the moment, but it's really good to use even without the flower on. And it's amazing. It's a really good degreaser.
Really?
Yeah, you can use it on hair, skin, clean the kitchen side, clean the bathroom, everything.
So, wow, what about clothing?
Yep, you can use it for your wash as well. I've washed clothes with it. But it's really good at getting rid of gardening nails, which is something that I have quite a lot. So yeah, brilliant. So we've got enough here to make a sort of bottle of soap.
That's enough. Wow.
Yep.
That's fantastic.
Right, so I've got my soapwort here and a big bowl. I'm going to chop it up with scissors. Stalks and all going in. I've just boiled a kettle of water. I'm just going to pour it over. So what we'll do is we'll leave that to cool down, and then we're going to squeeze all the sacchanoids out. Hi, so right, the liquid's cooled down. I'm going to basically squeeze it and massage it and get all the sacchanoids out, and it's going to actually go quite sort of bubbly. We just keep doing this, really get it going. Right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to let all the bubbles settle. Here is what the soapwort looks like now. You can use this to clean your sink out, just rub your sink out with it if it needs a clean.
Huge thanks to Sarah for that information. How simple is that to make soap from a plant? I'm going to go home and try that myself now. Thank you very much for listening. Bye-bye.
Step into a world of possibilities with New Earth, a groundbreaking series that shines light on holistic ways to live, work, and thrive. Join us weekly to discover new innovative ideas and explore the world around us as we, together, create our future, our New Earth.
When you think of vending machines, your mind probably jumps straight to a bag of greasy chips, a sugary soda, or maybe a candy bar that somehow makes you feel both satisfied and guilty at the same time. But times are changing. Vending machines are finally shedding their junk food reputation and getting stocked with healthier, more nutritious options.
Vending machines have been around for a lot longer than you might think. They started popping up in London in the late 1800s, selling postcards and books. By the early 1900s, they made their way to the U.S., dispensing everything from gum to cigarettes. Of course, it wasn't long before snack companies realized vending machines were the perfect way to get their products into the hands of hungry people on the go. For decades, these machines became synonymous with candy bars, chips, and sugary drinks. But as people have become more health conscious, the demand for better options has skyrocketed.
I saw this cool vending machine in the airport yesterday with fresh food in jars and you could recycle them after. There was a mix of savory and sweet foods, from salads to yogurt, and the prices were actually pretty decent for an airport, ranging from $6 to $11. I ended up getting the chia pudding, and it was fun to see it spit out my order. I'm actually not a huge fan of chia pudding, but this was pretty good. It wasn't too sweet or too bland, and it was definitely fresh. The jar went back in the machine when I was done. Would you try something like this?
Healthy vending machines are appearing in all kinds of places, like airports, college campuses, gyms, hospitals, and offices where people are focused on staying healthy. You'll find snacks like protein bars, trail mix, fresh fruit, yogurt, hummus with veggies, and even smoothies or fresh juices. Many of these machines cater to different dietary needs, offering options like gluten-free, vegan, or nut-free choices. Whether you're avoiding sugar or following a specific diet, these vending machines make it easier to stick to your eating habits or create new ones. Even local school districts are giving it a try.
A San Antonio businessman brought a new kind of vending machine into local schools.
I was in the restaurant business for quite some time and came upon human healthy vending about a year ago. Did some research on it, found out, what their main mission was as far as the obesity. I have, family members and friends who are obese because of lack of access. So it really appealed to me to be able to bring healthy options to students and to other people.
Cecil became a franchisee of the California-based Human Healthy Vending program, which brings healthy vending machines to schools and communities.
The new Smart Snacks in School guidelines require that the products have a limit on fat, a limit on sugar, and all those items are in our machine. So we believe that's very important as it relates to the kids and the obesity epidemic.
It seems like a no-brainer, right? Swap out the unhealthy snacks for healthier ones. So why hasn't this been the norm all along? One big reason is the global shift toward healthier lifestyles, which really took off during the pandemic. With so many people working from home or just spending more time indoors, the need for healthier, easy-to-grab snack options grew. Healthy vending machines have stepped in perfectly to meet that need, offering quick, nutritious bites that fit right into the wellness-focused lifestyle. Plus, technology has made it way easier to keep these machines stocked with fresh, wholesome options. Today's vending machines are way smarter and more adaptable, which means they can offer things like sandwiches and salads, all while keeping everything fresh and properly stored. It's a huge improvement from the old days when vending machines were full of chips and candy. It's also a huge win for the businesses jumping on the healthy vending machine trend. According to a U.S.-based market and research firm, the market for these machines is expected to hit around $146.6 billion in sales by 2027, with the U.S. alone contributing around $36.5 billion as of 2020. With health trends on the rise, owning a healthy vending machine is becoming a smart business move. These machines attract a wider range of customers who were happy to spend a little extra for healthier grab-and-go snack options.
And we're joined by Brady Kosher, standing outside a Cruise Co. vending machine. So you always think of vending machines as being a place to get junk food. You're turning that upside down.
Yeah, you betcha. We saw the concept happening around the world a few years ago, and we just came together, me and my life partner, Katie Murray, and we said, let's start a business together. And we just said, let's put fresh, healthy food into the most advanced, technologically advanced vending machine money could buy.
Is it going to be difficult for someone who's, borderline boomer to use?
Absolutely not. No, this is the pure essence of simplicity.
Okay, so I'm looking at it. Let's say I want to try this honey maple parm. What's the system?
The system here is a tap, grab, go system.
So here's my credit card.
Here's your credit card.
I just
tap it on the front there. Just hold it there, too. Be a little patient. Pull it away. We'll hear the door click.
There we go.
Open the door.
Grab my sandwich. Close that up.
Tap, grab, go. There's your total.
Healthy vending machines are quickly becoming a game changer for those looking to make smarter food choices on the go. With the growing demand for nutritious snacks and the convenience these machines offer, it's easier than ever to stay on track with your health goals, even when life gets busy. So next time you're craving a snack, keep an eye out for a healthy vending machine. You might just find the perfect option to fuel your day.
Making traditional Japanese miso is surprisingly simple. Just soybeans, rice koji, salt, and some patience. UNN Field Messenger Kumiko shows us how it's done in Osaka, Japan.
Hello. This is Field Messenger Kumiko, reporting from Osaka, Japan. 今回は私が UNN のために日本の伝統的な味噌作りをご紹介いたします。まずは材料です。大豆、米麹、塩です。米麹は蒸した米に日本固有の菌である麹を種付けしたものです。大豆をよく洗い、18時間以上浸水させます。鍋で大豆を柔らかくなるまで炊きます。塩と麹をよく混ぜ合わせます。こすって混ぜ合わせます。炊いた大豆を潰していきます。潰した大豆に塩麹を混ぜます。煮汁で硬さを調整します。硬さの目安は耳たぶぐらいです。こちらは味噌を仕込む容器です。35度以上のお酒で消毒します。味噌玉を作り、容器に空気を抜くように投げ入れていきます。味噌玉を平らにします。こちらが味噌玉を平らにした状態です。外から他の菌が入ることを防ぐため、ラップで蓋をして、重しを乗せます。涼しい場所で10ヶ月以上熟成させます。日本では味噌は医者いらずということわざがあります。This is Field Messenger Kumiko, reporting from Osaka, Japan. Thank you for watching.
Many students deal with academic pressure at some point in their lives, whether it's from parents, teachers, peers, or even themselves. The push for top grades and fear of failure can feel like a lot to handle. This kind of pressure can lead to stress, anxiety, and even depression, which can affect both mental health and school performance.
Research shows parental pressure can take a toll on kids' mental health, often leading to issues like depression and negative self-talk, where they feel like they're not good enough. Studies suggest while parents mean well, pushing too hard can backfire, leaving kids less motivated and struggling academically. When approval feels conditional, children may also withdraw socially and find it harder to build close relationships. A study from the National Library of Medicine shows while parental pressure can be harmful, it often comes from love and concern. Many parents project their unfulfilled dreams and past failures onto their children, pressuring them to achieve success. While parents want the best for their kids, our achievement-focused culture can create unrealistic expectations that end up doing more harm than good. True long-term happiness comes from support and understanding, not just success.
I want my son and daughter to be a banker, a doctor, or a lawyer. Now, those are common hopes for parents whose career choices for their children are about presumed status and financial security. Bravo for wanting your kids to achieve a comfortable future, but do not lose sight of the law of unintended consequences. Status and compensation produce many benefits, but satisfaction and personal happiness are not always included. In my 28-year career in global executive search, I encountered dozens and dozens of young men and women who were pursuing a career path they did not want, but felt pressure from their parents to continue a legacy or to realize an unfulfilled dream. Don't make your legacy about forcing your children to do something they do not want to do. After interviewing thousands of early and mid-careerists, I've seen the damage that kind of unhappiness can inflict.
Adding to the academic pressure on kids is the stress caused by grade tracking apps used in many U.S. high schools. These apps, like Google Classroom and Seesaw, have replaced the old system where grades were only seen at the end of a term. While they make it easier for parents to stay informed with real-time updates and direct messaging with teachers, they come with downsides too. Constant notifications and grade updates can overwhelm both parents and students. Many kids feel anxious seeing grades pop up on their devices, especially knowing their parents are watching too. This constant monitoring can shift the focus from learning to just chasing grades. Parents may also become overly focused on tracking progress, which can harm kids' independence and mental health. Experts warn too much control and focus on grades can create a high-pressure environment, leading to stress, burnout, and an unhealthy obsession with achievement.
Do you worry or stress too much about grades? School is a high-stress, high-pressure environment. There is a lot of competition between students in many schools, and I don't like this at all. I stressed far too much about grades in high school, and now that I'm a college graduate, I can confidently say that it's not worth it to stress or worry too much about your grades. Note that this doesn't mean that you shouldn't aim to get good grades, but you shouldn't do it at the expense of your mental health. What's the point of being a straight A student if you're depressed? Getting into an Ivy League school isn't going to solve any of your mental health issues. Stop stressing over your grades. There are more important things to be stressing about, such as being a nice person, or taking care of your mental health, or hanging out with friends and family, just being a good person overall, and becoming a leader in your life.
Academic pressure can make students feel isolated, as they often prioritize studies over spending time with friends, leaving them disconnected from their social circles. Stress from schoolwork can also keep students from joining activities like clubs or sports, which are great for building skills and relationships outside the classroom. On top of that, all the pressure can strain relationships with family and friends, as students may become irritable or distant, leading to misunderstandings and conflicts. Besides changes in behavior, stress can lead to physical symptoms like headaches, muscle tension, and constant fatigue. Managing stress starts with identifying what's causing it and setting realistic goals. Finding a balance is so important because academic pressure doesn't just affect grades. It impacts overall happiness and well-being too.
In the United States, 4 out of 10 college students experience crippling depression. 6 out of 10 are experiencing overwhelming anxiety. And in the UK, it's not that different. So studies are projecting that 1 in 5 students who enter university completely stress-free, by the time that they're at the middle of their course, are diagnosed as clinically anxious. It's common knowledge how stress and anxiety about academic performance has affected the mental, emotional, and physical health of students in Indian high schools, even increased suicide rates. So academic excellence is obviously important for everyone, students, parents, all the way through to government and society in general. There's no argument about that. But none of them would say it's the top priority if they were alert to the consequences of pursuing academics while ignoring emotional and spiritual well-being. The problem is that we're ignoring what all the indicators are telling us.
Balancing school and life can be tough, but good time management can make it easier. Try using a planner, breaking big tasks into smaller ones, or studying in focused 25-minute bursts with short breaks. Mindfulness practices like deep breathing or yoga are great for reducing stress and staying focused. Even just a few minutes a day can make a big difference. Don't forget to lean on friends, family, or mentors for support. Sharing your struggles and connecting with others helps you feel less alone.
Are you ready to change the world? Take the next step and join our weekly Field Messenger meetings. Learn more at unitednetwork.earth. I am United Network News, and so are you.